Welcome to this video. Welcome to Easy Learning Z. Thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to revise with you the paper that the grade 9 external wrote for 2023 under religious education. So I encourage you to watch this video up to the end as I'm going to revise with you and offer some explanation. I'll try to be brief so that I don't waste a lot of your time. So please make sure that you watch this video up to the end. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you find this video helpful, and also to share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Without wasting your time, let's go to question number 1. So we come to section A, which has 20 marks. So section A has got also 20 questions. So the instruction for section A is as follows: answer all questions. So in this section, you need to answer all the 20 questions. Mark your answers with a cross on the answer grid provided in the answer booklet. So we're going to be putting our cross on the answers of our choice, but when you're writing an exam, you write it only in the answer booklet. Okay, so question 1 is as follows: the way people should behave towards each other, animals, and the environment is called. The correct answer is D. Morality is called morality. Question 2 is as follows: people develop through their interaction with other people, the environment, and the correct answer is C, God. Okay, so you may be tempted to write the answer A, which is animal. So animals is in the word environment. When we talk about children, it's in the word people, and D, which is peers, is in the word people. So basically, the correct answer here is C, God. Question 3 was as follows: in which of the following scriptures can you find the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad? Okay, in which of the following scriptures can you find the saying of the Prophet Muhammad? So the correct answer is B. You find the sayings of Prophet Muhammad in Hadith. So you may be tempted to say Quran or Quran. Yes. Quran, this is the word that Muslim believes that is a copy of the word of Allah. So where the writings of Prophet, or the where Prophet Muhammad wrote, the way he interacted and lived, is recorded in Hadith. Question 4 is as follows: the books of the Bible are named after their theme, topic, or author. The correct answer is author, which is A. A is the correct answer. 5 is: what do choices show in one's life? The correct answer is aims. So choices will show what we aim to achieve or want to achieve. Question 6: what name is given to the ability to do something well? The name which is given to the ability to do something well is D, talent. Talent is the ability to do something well. So the correct answer is D. Question 7 is munwe omwe taupai njina, meaning one finger cannot kill a louse or lice. This Tonga proverb encourages B, cooperation. Okay, cooperation. Question 8: which of the following pairs do not require trust for them to work? Okay, which of the following pairs do not require trust for them to work? A, trader and buyers. This one needs trust. You need to trust the trader, and also you need to trust your buyer. Teacher and learners, that is one of the in a kind of partnership that needs trust. A pupil should trust his or her teacher, and the teacher should also trust his or her learner. So C. Policeman and thieves. Okay, this one, they don't even trust each other. Even if they work together, they will never trust each other. So the correct answer is C. D. Driver and passengers. These, they need to trust each other to make sure that the passenger should trust the driver that will drive them safely. Okay, so the correct answer is C. Policeman and thieves. They do not need trust. Question 9 was as follows. Do not be angry with us if we forget and commit sin. Which holy book has this saying? Do not be angry with us if we forget and commit sin. Which holy book has this saying? The correct answer is C. Quran. Okay. Quran has this saying, which is, do not be angry with us if we forget and commit sin. So the correct answer is C. Question 10. In Hinduism, how do disciples find the meaning of what the Guru teaches? Question 10 is, in Hinduism, how do disciples find the meaning of what the Guru teaches? First of all, what happens is, when the Guru is teaching, his way of living is one way disciples will learn on how to live. Okay, that's the first thing. So the action speaks louder than voice. Then if he's teaching, from what he's teaching, the students or disciples will learn through parables and riddles. So the Guru used parables and riddles to learn, and then they should find the meaning of what those parables and riddles have. Okay, so the correct answer is A. Question 11. The following are types of freedom. Which one is considered to be very important to? Okay, the following are types of freedom. Which one is considered to be very important? So, to A, associate with whom you wish. That is also freedom. B, follow your own religious belief. That is also freedom. C, from your own. So, to form your own opinion. That is another freedom. D, live where you choose to live. That is another freedom. So which one is more important here? So the correct answer is B. Follow your own religious belief. That is the most important. So the correct answer is B. Question number 12. What is given to people in leadership to enable them enforce laws and rules in an organization? What is given to them? Okay, A, authority. Yes, is given to them. So the authority is the one that they will use to enable them enforce laws and rules. So A is one of it. So we can check other answers so that we can confirm that A is the correct answer. B, influence. Okay, they can have influence, but the influence is not going to enable them to enforce laws and laws. C, power. Okay, you can have power, but for you to enforce that, you cannot use power alone. Okay, unless if you want to use dictatorship, then you have got power and then you do that, but it doesn't work out. If you have got power, then you should have another thing that will help you to enforce that. D, wisdom. Wisdom is needed, but not everyone who has wisdom has the capability or has the authority to enable people of enforce laws and rules. So the correct answer is A. The correct answer is A, which is authority. Question 13 was as follows. Who were the leaders of Israel for more than 400 years? Who were the leaders of Israel for more than 400 years? The correct answer is B. Okay, the correct answer is B, kings. So when Israelites were being led by prophets like Moses, Aaron, who were Aaron the priest, there was a point when they got tired and then they needed a king. So they requested for a king. That's how even Saul was appointed as the first king of Israelites. So the correct answer is B. From there were a series of kings who came in after Saul, David, and Solomon, and so on, just like that. Okay, so the correct answer is B. Question 14. Which of the following statement is true on ambition? Okay, A. Ability to get ahead at any cost. Okay, ability to get ahead at any cost, that is at any cost, that has made the answer to belong, because at any cost, that means it can even mean to kill someone for you to get whatever you want. That is not ambition, and that is not a good way we can do things. B. Capacity to lose control over our destiny. No. C. Desire to accomplish something. Yes, that is ambition. Desire to accomplish something. D. Desire to discover your talent. No. So the correct answer is C. Desire to accomplish something. Not at any cost, but just the desire to accomplish something. That is ambition. Okay, so the correct answer is C. Question 15 was as follows. A friendship should make both people in the relationship A. Ambitious. No. B. Funny. No. C. Happy. Yes. D. Hope. Yes, people can be hopeful in relationship, but the intention of building a friendship, or one of the purpose of a friendship, is also to make people happy. We build friendship so that we can also be happy. So the correct answer is C. Question 16 is as follows. Which of the following is an example of genuine love? Which of the following is an example of genuine love? It. A. Comes suddenly. No. B. It is based on appearance. Okay, how the person looks like. Is she beautiful? Immediately she is beautiful, that means you fall in love. If she's ugly, you don't. Or if she's ugly, you fall in love. If she's not, then you don't. C sees only the positive. It only sees the good things. Okay. D takes time. So the correct answer is D. Genuine love takes time. So the correct answer is D. Question 17 is as follows. What is the benefit of contracting a marriage under the Marriage Act? Okay. One enjoys the full protection of the Zambian law, which is A, which is also correct. But let's check for other answers before we confirm our answer A to be correct. B, one has freedom to marry many wives. Nope. C, one is able to divorce your partner easily. No. D, can have as many children as possible. No. So the correct answer is A. Question 17, the correct answer is A. Question 18 is as follows. According to Zambian traditional religion, people suffer because A, they have not helped the old people. No. B, the spirit want them to suffer. Okay, so this answer is not correct because they have just said the spirits. Okay, so in Zambian tradition, people believe that there are some good spirit and bad spirit. There are some spirits that can help them and those spirits that can harm them. So just because they have said spirits, they have generalized. So the answer B is not correct as well. C, they are hated by witches, which is correct. D, they are not protected by the spirit. So the correct answer is C, they are hated by witches. Question 19 is as follows. According to Islam, what are the mourners not allowed to do during the 3 days of mourning following a death? Okay. A. Receive visitors. Mourners are allowed to receive visitors. B. Have a special meal. This is depending on the meal. Okay. C. Give food to the poor. This one is not having special meal and giving food to the poor is not prohibited. Okay. So it depends on the occasion, on how it's being done. D. Decorate themselves with jewelry and clothing. So the correct answer is D. Mourners are not allowed to decorate themselves with jewelry and clothing. So they just have to be simple and modern. Question 20 is as follows. What name is given to a type of prayer where an individual communicates to God or the spirit? Okay. What name is given to a type of prayer where an individual communicates to God or the spirit? So the correct answer is A. Private. So when one person talks to God, that is a private prayer. Okay. So intercession is a prayer that involve another person to pray for another person or for a certain situation. Okay, so the correct answer is A. Okay, so we come to section B. Section B is carrying 30 marks. So there are 15 questions that you need to answer. So let's read the instructions on how we're going to answer the questions in section B. So the instruction is answer all the 15 questions. So we need to answer all the 15 questions. Write your answers in the space provided in the answer booklet. So on our answer booklets, there will be provision for us to write answers. So since I'm not going to be using the answer booklet, I will be writing answers on this same paper. Okay, so with that being said, let's go to question number 1. Okay, question number 1 is as follows. 1A is how were the youths taught on spiritual and moral education in the past? State 1 point. So we need to give 1 point. So you can either write that they were taught by the word of mouth, or you can also write oral tradition. So you can write word of mouth or oral tradition. Okay. Question 1B is as follows. How are the youths taught on spiritual and moral education nowadays? Give 1 point. So where they are saying I give you 1 point, I'll be giving you 2. Where they're saying 2, I'll be giving you 3. So what you can write 1 through television, or you can also write through internet. So one of these 2 answers, you can write them. Okay, so it's either you can write television or internet. Okay, there are so many ways, but I'll share with you these 2. Question 2 is as follows. What guides the Muslims on the following? What guides the Muslims on the following? A. Issues of morality. What guides Muslims on issues of morality? It's a Quran or Quran. Okay, so Quran. B. What guides Muslims on issues of behavior? So the 5 pillars of Islam. Okay, the 5 pillars of Islam guides Muslims on behavior. Okay, question 3 is mention 2 common things found in mammals, humans, and plants. So the 3 things that found in animals, humans, and plants are 1. Reproduction. Okay, they reproduce, they have offsprings, they usually have babies, so they reproduce. Okay. 2. They grow. Okay, or let me say all mammals, humans, and plants, they all grow. 2. They also breathe. They breathe. Okay, animals and mammals, they also breathe. As you know, in science, you have learned about plants taking in carbon dioxide, giving out oxygen, and animals and mammals breathing, and humans, animals and humans are breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. So they all breathe. Okay, animals humans and plants. So question 4 was as follows. 4a is how should Muslims children be given names? Okay, how should children of Muslims be given names? Okay, so basically what the Muslims do is they give name which reflects Islamic traditions. Okay, so they choose good names. So by looking at good names reflecting Islamic traditions. So that's why if you see someone who has never been a Muslim, then he joins Islamic, then what happens first? They even change his name. They give him an extra name of Islam. So when they go into Islamic activities, they will be calling him or her by that name they have given. So they usually select good names. So even the children who are born Islamic, they are given good names which reflects Islamic traditions. Okay. Question 4b is how are Muslims parents expected to spend their money on children? Okay, so when they are spending their money, they make sure that they spend money in the way that it will help the children to grow up in a good manner. Okay, they provide, they spend money on their children in such a way that it will enhance good behavior. So we can say to provide them with good upbringing. So when providing, they are making sure that the children they grow. Question 5. In Zambian tradition region, elders teach their children cultural tradition through stories, dash and dash. Okay, so basically in Zambian tradition, children are taught through stories, folk tales and myth. So folk tales and myth. So we can put folk tale there and myth there. Okay, those there are the answers for question number 5. Okay, question 6 is as follows. What are the consequences of poor self-concept and self-esteem? Mention 2 points. So I'm going to give you 3 since they want 2 points. The question is asking us to what are the consequences of poor self-concept and self-esteem? Okay, lack of confidence. What will be the result of lack of confidence? Okay, and perceiving yourself into in a bad way. What will be the consequences? 1, you may suffer from depression. Okay, you may suffer from depression not because you're a bad person, but because you believe or you perceive yourself as a bad person. 2, you are going to be unhappy. Okay, because of the feeling you have like you're not doing enough or you're not good enough, then you may be unhappy because you see yourself as a person who's not good. So they want to, I'll give you 3. The other one is you are going to have a bad pattern of behavior. Okay, because you perceive yourself to be a bad person, you end up having a bad behavior. So basically these are the 3 things I can share with you. You can pick 2 from that. Okay, we go to the next question. Okay, question 7 was as follows. The Holy Scriptures of Religion are a guide to the followers. State 2 things they contain. Okay, the Holy Scripture of Religion are a guide to the followers. State 2 things they contain. So since they want 2, I'll give you 3. So the first one is that they contain the tradition of the religion. Okay, they contain the tradition of religion. 2, they also contain the conduct of the followers of that religion, or the moral laws. Okay, it has got the moral laws, the way people should behave who follow that religion. Okay, history of the region, it has got the history of the region, how it began and how the progress it has made from the beginning up to date. Okay, so basically those are the 3 things. You can pick 2 from those and write them. Question 8. Mention 2 rewards of competition. Mention 2 rewards of competition. So I'm going to give you 3 since they want 2, then you can pick 2 from those. Okay, so the first one is recognizing achievement. Okay, one of the rewards is you recognize the achievement that you have obtained or you have made. Okay, the other one is it will also help you to earn money. For instance, if there is competition. Like, let me take for instance, there is a World Cup that is taking place. The winner of the tournament, like the way Argentina won the World Cup, okay, it was given a prize. Okay, 2022 World Cup was won by Argentina. Argentina won the World Cup and was given a prize. Okay, so they earned some money. Okay, the other one is it brings out the best in everyone. So when you're doing competition, which is the third point I'm bringing out, it brings out the best in everyone. So when you're competing, there is competition, people tend to prepare extensively. Okay, that means they will train hard. Okay, and the best will come out from them. So those are the three points that you can write. Question number 9 is as follows. State two groups of people who could help you recognize a talent which you have. Okay, state two groups of people who could help you recognize a talent which you have. Okay, so the first people that should be able to recognize your talent is your family. Okay, in some cases, families, they tend to have a blind eye on your talent, or they are just not able to identify your talent. So the first people that will identify your talent, the first one will be your family. Okay, your father, your siblings, your mother, or any other relative that you stay with, they will be able to recognize your talent and tell you this is your talent. The other ones are friends, the friends you play with, the one you spend a lot of time with. And if you are young, most of the activities we do, you do them with your friends. So basically, maybe even your friends can be be the first people to identify your talent. Okay, and then the other one is teachers. Okay, as teachers, who are able to identify your talent. Okay, I'm just going to give you three. So the first one I said family, second friends, third teachers. Okay, as teachers at school, we will be involving you in different activities, and we know some they don't even manage, but we want them to do it so that we can see if they have got talent in that. So these three groups of people will help you to identify talent. So you can pick two groups of those three groups I've said and write them as an answer. Okay, I'm sure there are so many groups that can help you, but for now they asked for two. Now I've given you three, so you can pick two from those. Question number 10. Question number 10 is mention two laws and guidelines that guarantee the freedom of all in Islamic. Mention two laws and guidelines that guarantee the freedom of all in Islamic. So number 1 is no one's freedom should violate the freedom of another. Okay, so you do not need to violate the freedom of others for your sake of your freedom. Okay, the other one is the freedom of individuals and the communities should never jeopardize the general order of society. Okay, so if you feel like you do not have freedom, or if you do not have freedom, trying to get freedom and then you destroy other people's freedom, or deliberately you destroy other people's freedom, then that is not also allowed in Islamic. Okay, so they give you guideline on how someone can be free or can have freedom. The third one is the freedom of individuals or communities should never cause the loss of more general rights. Okay, so your freedom or the freedom of the community should not cause the loss of more general rights. Okay, so you don't have to destroy other rights in order to gain the other freedom you want, or something like that. Okay, those are the 3 points. You just need to pick two and write them. Question 11 is as follows. Mention two positive things that an ambition can give us. Mention two positive things that an ambition can give us. Okay, we all know that we need to be ambitious. Okay, sometimes some people are over ambitious and they are willing to do anything, which can even lead to destroy other people's life. But what good thing can you get from being ambitious? Okay, so they want us to give out two, so I'm going to give you three. Okay, one, it makes people work hard. Since you are ambitious, you want to achieve something, it's going to make you to be a hard worker or to work extra hard, okay, which is a good thing because the person has to work extra hard, okay. The other one is it makes people to be disciplined, okay. So if you want to achieve something, if you want to attain certain thing, like if you want to be a professional footballer, what you're going to do is you're going to work extra hard and be disciplined in terms of what you eat and how you exercise, okay. So it's not only hard work, but you're also going to be disciplined in how you do things, okay. The other one is it helps us to have control over our destiny. So when you are ambitious, it also helps you to be in charge of your destiny. Okay, what you want to be, you say, I want to be a professional footballer. Then you have decided what you want to be, and then you work extra hard and become a professional footballer. So it's like you're in charge of your destiny. Even if God is in control of everything, but you take a certain percentage of you being responsible for what you become. Question 12 was as follows. In the Old Testament, a king was to protect people who were dash, okay, and dash. So the king was to protect the people who were poor and weak. Okay, those who were poor and weak, the king was, it was a job of a king to protect them. Question 13. A. What is friendship based on in Islam? What is friendship based on in Islam? According to Islamic, they believe in the oneness and the universality of one God. Okay, so that is the correct answer. The belief in the oneness and the universality of God. Okay, we go to question number 13b, which is why are Muslims expected to be at peace with their fellow believers? Why are Muslims expected to be at peace with their fellow believers? Okay, because all believers are brothers, okay, or sisters. Because all believers are brothers or sisters. Okay, so they believe that every Muslim is a brother or sister. State two things people do to prepare for death. So two things, so I'm going to give you three. So one is by investing money properly. So they are dying, they invest money, okay? So they are going to invest money properly so that this money can be used by their, so they invest the money and then they will leave that money for people. So that leads to the second point, which is the second point is by making a will. Okay, a will, this is a document that tells people who remain behind on how they are going to share the property of the deceased. Okay, so they will prepare a will on how their wealth will be shared, okay, once they die. Okay, the third one is by praying to God for his help before they die. Okay, so if someone has got a terminal illness and he knows that he's going to die, they may start praying to God so that he can help them as they are going to die. Basically, they can even ask for forgiveness for the sins they have committed. Okay. Question 15. Mention two examples when Jesus practiced community prayer. Mention two examples when Jesus practiced community prayer. Okay, so we know that community prayer, this is the time when you come as a community and pray together. Okay, one, when you went to synagogue to pray. Okay, there is a time when you went to synagogue to pray. Two, when he celebrated Passover feast with the disciples. Okay, when he celebrated the Passover with the disciples. The other one is when you worshipped at the temple. When you worshipped at the temple. Okay, so when you worshipped at the temple, you also practiced community prayer. Okay, so basically these are the three answers. You can pick two from those. Okay, so question one was as follows. Dash, he puts his outer garment back on and returned to his place at the table. Dash, okay, or that means this part they have gotten is just on the middle. So before it starts, there are some statements that have been cut out, and before the end of the entire passage there are some statements which they have cut out. That means they have only picked the middle section of the passage. Okay, so for us to understand fully the passage, we're going to read the entire passage. So let's read together. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I've done for you? He asked them. Okay, so now we are able to trace the passage that is the one that is removed, the statement that is removed and put in the question. Okay, and we can see the remaining of the other statements in the passage. Okay, so I got to question number 1a, which is who put his outer garment back on and returned to the table. So the person who put on his outer garment is the one who was washing their feet. Okay, so who washed the feet, or who washed their feet? Okay, we know that in the Bible we're told that Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Okay, so the answer is Jesus Christ. Okay, we go to question number 1b. Why did he take off his outer garment in the first place? Why did he take off his outer garment in the first place? Okay, so the reason he took off his garment, you can find that in the answer, where at the beginning of the statement, where it reads as, when he had finished washing their feet. So he took off the garment, the outer garment, because he was washing their feet. So we can say he was washing his disciples' feet. Okay, so that is the reason why he took off his garment. He wanted to wash, or he was washing the feet of his disciples. We got to question number 1c, which is state the question that asked them when he returned at the table. So if we go back to the passage, you see that the question he asked them is, do you understand what I've just done to you? This is the question that he asked them. Okay, we got to question number 1d, which is state 4 teachings that he gave to them. 4 teachings that he gave to them. Okay, the first one is he has set an example and they will do just like that. So what he was trying to do here is set them an example of how a leader should serve his followers. Okay, which is very difficult nowadays to see in leaders. Leaders nowadays, they just want to be boss. Just like the monitor in your class and the monitors in your class, they almost express themselves as if they want to be worshipped. They want to be bossy. Okay, so Jesus is showing us an example to say, as a leader, you should set an example of serving people. Okay, so that's why a leader should be a good servant of the people. That's an example he's giving. The second one is he himself, the Lord and teacher, have just washed their feet. Okay, so this is similar to what I've already alluded to. Okay, the other one is they call him teacher and Lord. It is true, they do so. Okay, that is the other one. The fourth one and the last one is they should wash one another's feet. Okay, I have seen certain churches that perform this kind of activity. I'm not sure, but it's like it uses it. They call it Ichimonwa. I don't know if there are other also churches that do this. So he was setting an example which the Christians should follow. Okay, so those are the 4 teachings that he gave to them. Okay. Question 1e is as follows. Give one value that you have learned from the Bible passage. Okay, 1. So there are a lot of things that you can learn from the passage, but one of it that stand out is humility, humbleness. Okay, you should be able to be humble. Even if you are a leader or you are not a leader, you're just a person, be humble. Okay, the other one is selfless. Okay, so I'll just give you 2 since they want 1. I'll give you 2. 1, it's humble or humility. The other one is selfless. Okay, you just have to be selfless. Okay, so these are the answers that were supposed to be given on question 1 of section C. We come to question 2 of section C. The question was as follows. Make sure that the man you choose to be king is the one whom the Lord has chosen. Okay, so this statement is coming from the verse which is Deuteronomy 17 verse 15. Okay, Deuteronomy 17 verse 15. Okay, so what we're going to do is, before we go and answer the question, we're going to read the entire verse, which is Deuteronomy 17 verse 15. Okay, so the verse reads as follows. Be sure to appoint over you the king the Lord your God chooses. He must be from among your own brothers. Do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not a brother Israelite. Okay, so these all verses, I'm getting them from Good News Bible, which is mostly recommended in schools. So this is what the entire verse say. Okay, so now we can go ahead and answer the question. So we start with question 2a, which is, who said these words? Okay, who said these words? So the one who was saying in Deuteronomy in this verse is Moses. However, Moses was delivering the words of God, so we can say Moses, or we can say God through Moses. So I'm very sure that if you give the answer to be God, it will be acceptable. The answer to be Moses will also be acceptable. So God and Moses will also be acceptable, plus additional answer, which is God through Moses, will also be acceptable. So basically, those are the 3 options of the answers that you can give. Okay, which are correct. We go to question number 2b, which is, whom were these words talked to? Okay, so here we read in the verse that the king should be an Israelite. Okay, a brother Israelite, a brother from the Israelite family, and should be their own. So meaning these words were spoken to Israelites. So the answer is Israelites. Okay, we go to question number 2c, which is, state one other condition of becoming a king. Okay, so what other condition was given for one to become a king, apart from the one who is chosen from God, apart from the condition that is stated in the question there? Okay, one of it is the king should not be a foreigner. Since they want 1, I'll give you 2. 1, the king should not be a foreigner. Okay, the king should be an Israelite. Okay, the other one is he must be one of your own people. Okay, so that means even if they are similar in the way they are coming out, but God commanded the Israelites to have a king who belongs to Israelite. Okay, so it should be like by birth and by tribe he should be an Israelite. Okay, we come to question 2d, which is, state 3 things the king was not supposed to have. 3 things that the king was not supposed to have. Okay, number 1, the king was not supposed to have many wives. Okay, so the king was not supposed to be a polygamist, yes, or maybe the king was not to have many wives. Okay, the other one is the king was not to have many horses for his army. Okay, so the king was not allowed to have many horses for his army. Then the third one is, a king was not to make himself rich with silver and gold. So here the statement is trying to say that the king was not supposed to be greedy. Okay, he should not get everything for himself to make himself rich. Okay, he should save the people. Maybe he should have less silver and gold. Okay, not to make himself or herself rich. So if you have a queen, he shouldn't be so rich. If he's the king, he shouldn't be so rich or be greedy. Okay, so those are the three things that the king was not supposed to have. Okay, question 2E was as follows. State one thing he was supposed to have and one thing he was supposed to do after having it. Okay, so the most important thing the king was supposed to have was the book, a copy of the book of God's laws and teaching. Okay, so a king was supposed to have this. Okay, now what was he supposed to do with this copy of the book of God's law and teaching? The king was supposed to keep this book near him and read it so that he understands. So they were expected to read this book for their entire life. As they learn, they should also be reading this book. Okay, we got to question number 2F, which is give 2 reasons why he was supposed to have this thing in him. Okay, the reason why he was supposed to have a copy of the book of God's law, one was for him not to make himself rich with silver and gold, because in this book where there are laws and teachings, God was guiding people on how to live, not to rely on earthly things. Like he shouldn't make himself rich or become greedy, get everything that the land can provide and make them his, which he was against God's law. So the king will be reading this book, which will guide him on how to use those things and how not to get all those things and make them his. Okay, the other one is keep him from thinking that he is better than the Israelites. Okay, so this book had teachings which supported that all men are equal, no one is better than the other. Okay, so this could have helped the king to rule the Israelites better. So the reason the God commended people or kings to have this copy of God's law and teaching is for them to make them feel equal to other people and appreciate God for making them king, while his fellow Israelites who are just like him are his followers. Okay, the other reason, so they want to, I'll give you 3. The other reason is it also the teachings and the laws of which were in this book, the laws of God and the teachings of God which were in this copy of God's book, they also helped kings not to disobey God, okay, or not to disobey God's command. Whatever God wanted them to do, when they read in the Bible, or when they read in this book, in this copy of God's book, they will be able to understand the consequences and how God wants them to lead the life. Hence, they will not disobey God's command because they will know exactly what they are supposed to do. Okay, so these are the answers we are supposed to write for question 2F. So basically, these are the answers we are supposed to give for question 2 in section C. Okay. Okay. Question 1 in this section is of the topic of learning and truth. So we are going to read this passage together. So make sure you pay attention and you read with me so that we are able to get the meaning of this passage and answer the questions that follows without difficulties. Okay, let's start reading the passage. Okay. Mr. Musabaila is an old man living in Katanga village. He is full of wisdom, but he did not go to any formal school. He was brought up by his parents, who just taught him how to head animals and cultivate the fields. He learned all his skills in an informal way. Mr. Musabaila, with his wife, has a lot of children. Due to the experience he had, he did not want his children to be illiterate like him. So he took them to school. Mr. Msabaila would gather his children around the fire in the evening and tell them stories, riddles, and proverbs. In each riddle or proverb, the old man would explain the meaning for them to understand clearly. He taught his children to live well with everyone by listening and respecting elders in the community. He was a good example to them as he got along very well with everyone in Katanga village. When time came for his children to go to school, he gave them the support they needed and encouraged them to work hard. The children enjoyed being in formal schools. They excelled very well academically and went to colleges and universities. They later got formal employment and continued to live well with their neighbors. Everyone in the village admires Mr. Msabaila's children for their discipline, respect, willingness to learn from others, truthfulness, and their ability to listen to advice given to them. They have observed the way the old man has brought up his children and copied some good aspect from him. Okay, so if you haven't understood the passage, I would encourage you to go back, or yes, to rewind a bit and read through the passage again with me. Now, I'll take it that we have understood so that we don't waste a lot of time to read through again. So now we can go to questions. Question number 1A, which is, what do we call the kind of learning where a person just observes what elders do and then imitate them? Okay, that one is called unguided learning. That is unguided learning. Okay. Number 1B is as follows. Mention the two different types of learning Jesus gave to his disciples. Okay, so Jesus gave his disciples two types of learning. 1, guided learning. 2, unguided learning. These are the two types of learning that Jesus gave to his disciples. Okay, we go to question number 1C, which is, state 3 ways that can help people learn about religion. So 3 ways that can help people to learn about religion. So 1, hearing and repeating. Okay, hearing and repeating. Okay. 2, by being taught scriptures. Okay, by being taught scriptures. Okay, so you can learn about people can be helped to learn about religion, 1, by being taught. Okay, by being taught the religion by like if it's Christianity, by pastors, reverends, and anyone in charge of teaching. Okay, depending on the organization of the church. Okay, the other one is by reading the scriptures. Okay, by also reading the scriptures. You read the scriptures, then you learn about the religion through reading. Okay, the last one, since they want 3, I'll give you 4. The other one is by seeing and imitating. Okay, sometimes you can just see how the Christian lives and then you imitate. Okay, you follow the way they live. Okay, so you can also learn about the religion by just seeing and imitating. Okay, so basically those are the 4 types or ways any person can learn about the religion. Okay, so as Christians, we have got even a verse which encourages us to I'm sure that is Romans, where it says that faith comes by hearing, and that is by hearing the word of God. So if you keep on hearing the word of God or listening to the word of God, that means your faith will grow, so you can learn about religion also by hearing. Okay, number 1D, Okay, so question number 1D is state two sections of the Holy Bible. Two sections of the Holy Bible. Okay, the first one is New Testament. So the Holy Bible has got New Testament, and the second one is the Old Testament. So it's the New Testament and the Old Testament. Okay, so these are the two sections of the Holy Bible. We got question number 1E, which is judging a person or thing in advance is called, that is called prejudice. That is called prejudice. Okay, that is called prejudice. Judging a person in advance before you listen to them, before you interact with them, you just put them to say they are like this. That is prejudice, which is very bad. Okay, so we got question number F, question number 1F, which is the word Vedas means knowledge. The word Vedas means knowledge. Okay, we go to G. How does the Zambian tradition region teach its followers? Okay, it teaches its followers by the word of mouth. Okay, by the word of mouth. There is no written document that people can use. So the belief or the teachings of Zambian traditional region are passed through the word of mouth or oral tradition. Okay, we go to question number 1H, which is mention 3 different ways in which a statement can be true. So if you want the statement, if the statement is true, it's going to have these characteristics. 1, is it true to life? Okay, the statement, if it's true to life, then okay. 2 is emotional true. 3 is historically or factually or mathematically true. So if the statement has these qualities, then it is true. So these are the 3 things that can prove that the statement is true. Okay, we got to question number 1I. Give one example of how the disciples were learning without knowing from Jesus. Okay, so Jesus was teaching disciples learning by doing things. So when Jesus is doing, then people are watching. So disciples were learning from Jesus by watching him. So he was doing things like welcoming sinners, rebuking bad leaders, and also healing people. So those activities were teaching disciples on how to interact with sinners, how to interact with bad leaders, how to interact with people who are sick. So he was teaching them. So the disciples, they learned that when somebody is sick, they won't encourage him to stay back. Instead, they will heal him and allow him to join or her to join them. If they see a sinner coming, they wouldn't say, you are a sinner, you can't mingle with us. They would encourage him to be with them. So they learned that sinners are not to be chased away, but to be brought on board so that they also change. Okay? And leaders who felt like they were more better than the sinners were being rebuked to make them realize that they are not better off than those they consider to be sinners. So those are the ways Jesus was teaching the disciples without them knowing that they are being taught, without even Jesus telling them to say, hey, can you observe now? I'm teaching you. But he just acted and they learn from that. Okay, we got question number 1J, which is according to the passage, the old man used traditional methods of teaching his children. Mention 3 methods he used. 1, telling them stories. Okay. 2, using riddles. 3, using proverbs. So he taught them using these 3 methods. I'm sure you are able, if you go to back to the passage, you are able to see the answers. Okay. We go to question number K, which is what 2 values are being taught in the passage? Okay, the 2 values that are being taught in the passage. 1, it is respect. Okay, and 2, listen to advice. So these 2 are the values that are being taught in this passage. I'm sure if we take time, we can still find other values that are being taught, but the ones that are highly mentioned in this passage are respect and listening to advice. Okay, so we have come to the last question of question 1. We can go now to the next question. Okay, question 2 is on authority and leadership. So the passage is as follows. Slomba was a grade 11 learner at Mpakutu Secondary School. He was a very intelligent, hardworking, and humble boy. He was good both in class and outdoor activities. Like sports, his friends liked him very much. All the teachers talked well about him. In term 3, when time came to choose sub-prefects, Slomba's name was proposed as a head boy. All the learners supported the idea and the teachers were pleased that the intelligent boy would be a leader of the school. Slomba started working hard as a head boy and preparing for his grade 12 examination the following year. Time came when the outgoing head boy graduated and Slomba took over the position. He was now in grade 12 and he knew that he had all the powers as a head boy of a school. He prepared the duty letter for prefects to follow, but he was also there at the gate every morning watching learners coming in school. All latecomers were beaten by him and others punished when it was the turn for grade 12s to do station upkeep. He would just supervise them and do nothing himself. His fellow grade 12 learners started complaining about Slomba, ruthless behavior and bad leadership style. Most learners lived in fear of him. The worst thing was that he disrespected young teachers in school as he claimed he was in authority also. The teacher in charge of prefects called and talked to him. His answer was, "I'm in authority also. All learners must fear and respect me as their leader." Despite Slomba's negative response, the teacher explained to him the qualities of a good leader, like being a good listener, leading by example, and many others. The teacher told him to listen to the complaints of learners and act on them. The teacher also told him to take part in work during station upkeep, as he was also a learner. Slomba thanked the teacher in charge of prefects and promised to change. The following term, he stopped beating latecomers, took part in doing work, respected all teachers, and became a good listener. Everyone in school observed the change of behavior in Slomba, and teachers praised him for his newly acquired good leadership qualities. At the end of the year, the head boy was given an award for showing good leadership. Okay, so if you are behind with reading the passage, you can pause the video or you can rewind the video and read the passage again. Okay, once you have read the passage now, like we have done, we can now go to the questions. Okay, so the first question, question 2A is as follows. What is leadership? What is leadership? So we are saying leadership is the ability to influence others for a common goal. The ability to influence others for a common goal. Question 2B is as follows. State the 4 types of leadership. 4 types of leadership. 1 is tradition. 2, civic. 3, religious, 4 political. So those are the 4 types of leadership. We go to question 12c. Why do people in community need leadership? Why do people in community need leadership? State 1 point. Okay. So 1, the reason why people need leadership is for them to achieve a common goal. Okay, for them to achieve a common goal. Okay, so that if they want, like if it's a leadership in a community, they want a borehole. When they have leaders, the leaders will mobilize every member so that they can have a borehole. Okay. 2 is also, the other one is also to bring cooperation in the group of people. Okay, to bring cooperation, because people, they will listen to one source, which is the leaders or the leader himself. If he is the chairman, when he speaks, then everybody will follow what the chairman has instructed them to do. So it's for them to work in cooperation or to bring unity in the group. Okay, so since they want one, I can give you those 2. The other one is to enforce law to govern them. To enforce law to govern them. So if you pick on those I've stated, you should be able to get a mark. We go to question D. Question 2D is as follows. Some of the qualities of a good leader are listen, reading by example, and hardworking. Mention 3 others. Okay, so 3 others. 1, a leader should have courage. Okay, the leader should be courageous. Okay, that is the first one. So when you're looking for a leader, look for qualities like, is he courageous? Is he able to face any situation? Okay. 2, the leader should be willingly to suffer. The leader should be willingly to suffer. It's unfortunate that sometimes leadership, people, they perceive as a way of gaining. Okay. Otherwise, the nature of leadership is willing to suffer for the people, willing to suffer for other people. Okay. So you as a leader of, maybe let me say, a community, you should be led to suffer. If they are saying leaders of this community should come at 23 hours to a certain place to start making a line so that by 6 hours you get what you want for your people, you go at that time and do that. If it needs you to walk and go and achieve the goal of the group, you walk. If it means any kind of suffering, you represent people. That's why you see renowned leaders like the late Nelson Mandela, they were able to be jailed and then released and be voted as a leader. Okay, so you need to sacrifice your life for others. Okay, we go to another one. The other one is the leader should be honest. They should be able to tell the truth. That is the other point. They should be able to tell the truth. That is the third one. They should be able to tell the truth. Be honest. Okay. The fourth one, since they want 3, I'll give you 4. The fourth one is the leader should be accountable. They should like promote accountability. They should promote accountability. More especially that they will also be in charge of finances and other activities that they need to account for. So the leaders also should be accountable, or they should promote accountability. Leaders that you'll be happy to see as they promote accountability. If a leader doesn't promote accountability, then he's not a good leader. So those 4 are the other qualities the leader should possess as well. Okay, there are so many qualities that the leader should have, but I will just mention those 4. We go to question number E. Question number E, 2E is as follows. What name is given to powers given to people to make decisions, rules, and enforce them? Okay, what leaders are given to do all that is authority. When leaders are given authorities, that means that they are able to make decisions, laws, and enforce them. Okay, we go to question number 2F. What bad leadership qualities were shown by Slomba in the story given? Okay, 3 points. Okay, so if you have forgotten what Slomba did, you can go back to the passage and read through, then come back and answer this question. Okay, as for now, one of the things that Slomba did was he became lazy. Immediately he was appointed as a leader, he became lazy. When it was the time for station upkeep for grade 12s, him wasn't working. Okay, he was just forcing his fellow grade 12s to work. Him wasn't working. Okay, 2, he became disrespectful to young teachers. He wasn't respecting young teachers. He was disrespectful. Okay, he was disrespectful to young teachers. So that is the other bad quality that he had in his leadership. Okay, the other one is he became pompous. Okay, he became full of himself. He was pompous. When he started to say, "No, do this," he could say, "I'm also a leader." Okay, he became so pompous, which is one bad quality of a leader. The other one is he wasn't listening to others. He wasn't listening to others. When they tell him to say what you're doing is wrong, I'm also in authority. So that means whatever he was told, he was not getting it. He wasn't listening to what people were saying. So those are the bad qualities that Slomba shown. Okay, we go to question 2G, which is question 2G is, apart from coordinating, mention 2 other functions of law and laws. Apart from coordinating, mention other functions of laws and laws. 1, so it's 2, I'll give you 3. So 1 is to protect the freedom of each member. Okay, so that is the other one, is to protect the freedom of each member. The other one, apart from protecting, okay, the other one is promoting accountability in a group. Okay, that is also the function of laws and laws, to promote accountability in an organization or group or country. The other one is also to prevent selfishness and greediness. Okay, those people in power to get everything to themselves. Okay, so those are the 3 things that law and laws will promote. We go to question number H. Okay, mention 3 factors that hinder proper use of authority. Okay, 3 factors that hinders proper use of authority. 1, people change their way of living. Okay, immediately they are in power, they become full of themselves and change the way of living. Okay, the thing that you should remember is when you are chosen into power, what made you to be chosen is what you are doing. Okay, what you are doing before you became, or before they chose you or they elected you. What you are doing is the thing that makes you to be chosen as a leader. Now, immediately you are chosen, you change your ways, then that means you become something else, something that people did not vote for. So you make sure you don't change your ways, okay, when you are chosen as a leader. The other one is unreasonable criticism. Okay, sometimes like where there is like opposition coming on your ways, there are people talking, those who are in your opposition, they offer sometimes unreasonable criticism. Okay, so these will also hinder the proper use of authority. Sometimes you think not only people in leadership are unfair to people, sometimes people are not in leadership unfair to people who are in leadership. They will say things that are not true, and then they'll prompt leaders to take actions, and then those people are not in power, they'll cry foul of the leaders. They are not doing it, they are doing like this. And one thing you should remember in life, the people who speak lies, they are the loudest. Or in other words, I can say, um, a, 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 a lie will travel around the entire village, whereas the truth is putting on socks. Okay? What it means is that the lie will spread like a bushfire. Meantime, the truth will come slowly. So when you hear about something, take time. Wait for the truth to come out. Whatever spreads first, don't act upon it. If you are wise, wait. Know that the truth is coming behind. Okay. Number 3 is selfishness. Some leaders, when they are chosen, they become selfish. Or even before they were chosen, they were very selfish, but they were good at hiding it. They were good at hiding it. People couldn't tell whether. So, when they are voted in, their selfishness comes in. They are already selfish. So now here they'll start doing it at large scale. They'll start getting things and people they will notice. Okay? Or maybe they never had a privilege to steal. Now this time they have a privilege. Then they'll get everything to themselves. Number 4, the fourth one. Remember they want just 3. I'll give you 4. Fear of different people's opinion. Okay, here what I'll try to say is this. You are a leader, so you'll be a talk of a day every day because you are a leader. That means people, they will be talking about you every day. Okay, anything goes wrong, it's a leader. Anything, even when they do it, they will come out and blame you. Okay, so don't change your ways because of fear of different opinions. Opinions will be there. Always be honest and transparent. Okay. Question 2I is as follows. Where did the Zambian tradition religion leaders get authority from? State 2 sources. Okay. So the Zambian tradition religion leaders were getting authorities from elders from royal families. From also inheritance. Some authorities were just from inheritance, like this is the father, so once the father dies, the son will take up the mantle.